Hey there, it's CJ Willie, and I'm cracking a pack today. I'm back with pack number 18 of my 1988 Topps Mini Leaders box. I'm trying to see how many packs I have to crack to get all 77 cards to complete the set. I've included the link to my preview video in the description below, which gives a little explanation on the set and the highlights of what it could pull in cracking these packs. Since each pack only has 7 cards, I'll guess which category or categories the player led their league, then I'll flip the card over to see if I was right or how very bad my memory was from the 1987 season. I've also got my checklist here, so we can mark off pack number 18. And let's get to cracking this pack. I'm 6 cards away from completing the set. I need Kevin Seitzer, Teddy Higuera, Frank Viola, Howard Johnson, Mike Doon, and one of my favorite players of all time, Willie McGee from my St. Louis Cardinals. So hopefully I'll get close. So far we've run into, I got a sneak peek. Looks like we're gonna get closer. Yes. So we're getting closer. All right. We'll zoom in just a tiny bit. I think that looks pretty good. And let's get going. Okay. First card out of our pack that we just cracked is Teddy Higuera. So now I'm down to 5 that I need for the set. Teddy Higuera came up with the Brewers, was a lefty starting pitcher, had a pretty good run in the early 80s. I'm going to guess in 87, since the Brewers were a halfway decent team, Higuera was a league leader in victories and ERA. So I missed out on strikeouts. Wow, he did get quite a few strikeouts. Victories, he was tied for 4th. He was tied for 3rd in shutouts, 4th in complete games, 6th in innings, and 9th with 35 games started. He won 18 games that year and had a 3.85 ERA. So Higuera was a pretty good pitcher. And then I believe he eventually hurt his pitching arm. All right, Willie McGee. Like I said, one of my favorite. Oh, I was marking the wrong spot on Teddy Higuera. I'm going to have to remember that. Not paying attention, so used to marking off these duplicates. All right, Willie McGee was a catalyst for the Cardinals in the mid-'80s. Had a pretty solid run through 1990 when he was traded to the A's at the end of the year. He eventually came back to the Cardinals to finish out his career in the 96, 97, 98, 99 seasons, kind of as a pinch hitter, off the bench, 4th outfielder. In 87, McGee, I think, was a league leader in runs, average, and stolen bases. So we flip it over, and I was way off. I didn't get any of these, and my 87 Cardinals were one of my teams that I remembered very well. He was 4th in doubles with 37, 5th in runs with 105. McGee was one of those guys in 85 and 87 that drove in a ton of runs and didn't hit a lot of homers. He was 3rd in triples and 7th in hits. McGee had a great year. Wasn't as close to his MVP year in 85, but once again was a great player to help the Cardinals get to the World Series and then eventually lose to the Minnesota Twins. Next up we have Kevin Seitzer. So I'm down to 3 cards needed to complete my set. This is getting awesome. Okay, Seitzer was a rookie with the Royals in 1986, I think, and then 87 was kind of his first big league year. Early on, he was a great infielder with could hit a ton, not necessarily home runs, but high on base percentage, high average number of hits. I'm going to say he was a league leader in hits, average, and on base percentage. So he was 1st in the league with 207 hits, 5th in triples, 6th in the batting average, 8th in on base percentage, and 9th in runs with 105. Seitzer had a few more good years as a regular, and then later on in his career became kind of a pinch hitter, designated hitter, somewhat backup utility infielder. Okay, Wally Joyner, one of my favorite players. I kind of occasionally collect him in a PC, not as much as some of my Cardinals, but Wally Joyner is one of my favorite players. 86 was his rookie campaign where he battled Jose Canseco for the Rookie of the Year. 87 was his best career season. He kind of dropped off a little bit with home runs and RBI, but was still a pretty good hitter. I believe he was a league leader in home runs and RBI in 1987. Yep, 3rd with 34 home runs and 4th with 117 RBI. Wally World, as he was affectionately known with the Angels. So I think I forgot to mark off my second copy of Wally Joyner. Willie Randolph, next up, second baseman with the New York Yankees, came with the Pirates, eventually went from second base playing to the Yankees. Signed as a free agent with the Dodgers. I think he played a year with the Mets and the Brewers and retired. Later on was the manager of the New York Mets. I'm going to struggle to remember what he led the league in. I'm probably going to say something like doubles and batting average would be my guess. And I was completely off. On base percentage with 411, and then ninth with 82 walks. Had a 305 batting average, which was pretty good, but had a knack for getting on base, and apparently I didn't remember that. All right, next up we have Billy Hatcher. Billy Hatcher was a speedy dude. Played with the Astros. He was part of the 86 National League West division team. They ran into the Mets, who later on beat the Red Sox for the World Series championship in 86. Hatcher was known as a pretty decent outfielder when it came defensively. Also had the ability to just beat the ball into the ground and then run it out and get to first base. He had a phenomenal 1990 World Series with the Cincinnati Reds. You should check out his stats. I think he hit like 650, maybe 750 for the World Series when the Reds beat the A's. I probably am going to struggle to remember what he led the league in 87. I'm going to go with doubles and runs. I don't think he had enough steals. Oh, I should have went with stolen bases. That was the easy one. He was third with 53 stolen bases. Only had 28 doubles. I should have remembered, he was a lot like Vince Coleman in that if he could beat it into the ground or get it onto the AstroTurf and have it get through the infield, he was going to get to first base and then usually make it into a double, essentially, by stealing second, and maybe even a triple by stealing third. Rick Sutcliffe is our final card out of the pack. So let's get Rick Sutcliffe marked off. Sutcliffe had a pretty good run with the Cubs in the mid-'80s. In 87, if I remember right, he was a league leader in victories. He led the league with 18 victories. He was also part of their division push in 88 when they lost to the Giants in the National League Championship Series. Sutcliffe also ranked 6th in strikeouts, 6th in innings, 7th in complete games, and 8th in games started. Sutcliffe has gone on to have a pretty decent career as an analyst. All right, my favorite card of the pack. I know this is going to be a little bit of a homer choice, but you know what? I can live with it. Willie McGee, one of my favorite players in the mid-'80s. He always looked like he was in pain, whether batting or fielding or stealing bases, and maybe that was just the way he looked. His 1985 season is one to go down in the history of Major League Baseball. Led the league in batting average with 353 batting average. Didn't hit a ton of home runs, drove in a few runs, but he really was a catalyst. My favorite memory of Willie McGee is in the 1982 World Series, where he robbed Gorman Thomas of a home run that would have put the Brewers ahead and changed the whole dynamics of the series. In that same game, he hit 2 home runs, basically was the MVP of that game, and helped propel the Cardinals to a World Series victory in 7 games over the Brewers. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like it, please subscribe and share. Tell me in the comment section what was your favorite card or what you thought was the best card in the pack. Until next time, when I'm back to crack the next pack of 1988 Topps Mini Leaders in my quest to complete the set.